Renaissance Festival. Get transported back to the time of swords, horses, knights, gowns, and balls through the Renaissance Festival, or to others, Renaissance Fair. Many states and huge cities in the United States have their own Renaissance festivals, and the dates are spread all throughout the year. So if you love the medieval period, then Renaissance festivals are for you. Each fair is organized separately, so if you go to 2 different Renaissance fairs, you'd have 2 different experiences. But why does America even have Renaissance festivals when the medieval period is already being studied in world history? Well, after World War II, there was a huge interest in medieval and Renaissance culture resurging. It's probably not surprising. After getting exhausted fighting battles and wars, people would want to go back to the time where there were no wars and everything was dedicated to the enrichment of culture. And no regrets about that, because Renaissance fairs are the only times where you could wear an Elizabethan or Victorian style gown without attracting weird looks and judgments from people. Because the reign of Queen Elizabeth I is considered England's golden age, with the works of William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe flourishing during her time, many Renaissance festivals are arranged to look like a village during the Elizabethan era. There are performance stages set up for shows like reenactment of Shakespearean plays and commedia dell'arte. There are also other performers like magicians, musicians, dancers, and singers. The Renaissance festivals don't just depict the Renaissance period. They also incorporate creatures from mythologies such as centaurs, wizards, elves, and fairies. And just because you're only a visitor doesn't mean you're not involved. It's not a veg out and watch kind of thing. In fact, it's very interactive, and the more you engage with people, the more that it gets better for you. You are encouraged to wear costumes, so go ahead, be a knight, a princess, a milkmaid, or whatever you want, just as long as it's part of the medieval culture. There are fair vendors that could rent or sell costumes if you don't come prepared. Some Renaissance fairs allow weapons like swords and ball and chains, just as long as they're peace bonded. In other words, wouldn't cause harm to others and are only used to complete your look. There are other fairs, however, that only allow festival employees and actors to use weapons. Don't be too disappointed. We know the fairs are just taking extra safety precautions. We don't want anyone getting hurt now, do we? Because many people are wearing costumes, it's hard to distinguish which ones are the visitors and which ones are the actors. Visitors and costumes are called platrons, a combination of the words patron and player. And you can get into the act because sometimes actors will interact with you to feel like you're included in the play. It's fun, isn't it? You get the chance to fully take in another identity for a while. While the Renaissance and other medieval periods are still prevalent in the fairs, Renaissance festivals in some states, such as Texas, also incorporate other themes and cultural traditions from other countries and other periods in history, like Oktoberfest, Halloween, and Celtic Christmas. Remember that some aspects of cultural events are for adults only, and while Renaissance festivals are child-friendly in general, there could be some wine, beer, or mead available, or there are shows that have more mature themes at the fairs, so steer kids away from those. Be an adult who sets a good example to children. There are some Renaissance fair vendors and actors who follow a schedule and travel from one fair to another. So if you like them in one Renaissance fair, you could visit other Renaissance festivals too. Go medieval and live in one of the best periods in history. Have a good time!